Yes, it's a little ironic because I'm here to explain something about breathing, and my breathing is quite bad at the moment. I'm just arrived from New Zealand and a little cold, so apology for my voice that is not so strong. My nose is blocked, but we'll do our best. Yes, I teach specifically Yantra Yoga, ancient Tibetan yoga of movement and breathing. And from that knowledge of Yantra Yoga, we have developed what we call harmonious breathing, and a way to allow people to connect with their breathing in a more natural and conscious way. So Yantra Yoga is very interesting because it has really kept through centuries, the fundamental aspect of yoga, which is really breathing, the source of yoga, which is energy, breathing. So we have a specific way of explaining breathing in Yantra Yoga, and that is what we call the barley seed, or the way we breathe from the abdomen to the chest, and in the inhalation, and the way we exhale from the chest area down to the abdomen. But that's only one little part of Yantra Yoga. In fact, this way of breathing is very related to our natural condition of breathing when we are born. And the reason why we often have to reconnect with that way of breathing is that through our existence we are very conditioned by life in general. And this conditioning of the mind, conditioning of the body, takes us away from the real source of what breathing is, or complete breathing is, or harmonious breathing is. That also means fluid breathing. So with harmonious breathing, which I have been teaching for some time now, I have discovered that we can interact with people at a very natural level, and even with movement. Easy, simple movement, everybody can do this. Whereas sometimes yoga, or even Yantra Yoga, sometimes it's not so easy for people to practice any type of yoga due to perhaps lack of flexibility or different other problems and so forth. So what I want to do today is, before I give you more explanation of the meaning of harmonious breathing, complete and fluid breathing, also the way we can develop the diaphragmatic breathing, I would like to start with some exercises. And coming back to exercises, we are going to also discover how important it is to develop our breathing, which in turn can enhance the condition of our presence, or the condition of our awareness. And so when we speak about breathing, often we think we breathe well, or maybe we don't think about it, but we do breathe. And because we breathe anyway for living, we may as well do it well. And that is not so easy. Often we are very conditioned and limited because the breathing is a bridge between the mind and the body. We can realize this through our own experiences. If we feel certain strong emotions, we also discover that the breathing changes. The circumstances of life makes us discover that we have a different way of breathing through, for example, stress, through different aspects of fear, through well-being. Well-being allows us to breathe deeper, better, smoother, more fluid. So there is many ways we can breathe, and there is also many ways we can develop complete breathing, because we don't breathe all the time the same way. We can breathe fast, inhale fast, exhale fast. We can exhale deeper. We can remove what we call the stale air through more conscious breathing. We can go deeper in the exhalation, which will help in turn to relax at a deeper level. We can also hold the breath for a little while, and particularly what we call empty hold, which is very much something related to yoga and different type of yogas, in particular Yantra Yoga here. Empty hold is when we exhale completely, we remain a moment empty, and then we breathe in again. So that removes the air that we constantly keep inside the lungs, that we never remove. So training exhalation is a very important aspect of breathing. So then I will speak a little bit about diaphragmatic breathing and all the benefit of good and fluid breathing. But first, I would like everybody to sit straight in the chair for a moment. So exactly like with presence, and the back straight, the shoulders open, and the feet on the ground. So for a few minutes, we're going to practice some kind of presence, being present with the flow of the breathing, with the condition of our breathing. So when we sit already in a chair, with the back straight, with not sort of sliding back towards the back of the chair, but keep a more open posture, already we can discover that breathing can be more open. Because this is the point also to breathe well, is to not only to increase a harmony or an equilibrium about energy, or our own energy or element, which we talk a lot about in Eastern medicine, for example. But also, so we can really discover that we open the breathing to the external aspect, to the world, to the space element, for example. So an open breathing is very much related from in to what's happening inside, what's happening outside us. So we connect with external condition and internal condition. So when we sit straight, we're already more open. And now we can just observe, just a moment. We can close our eyes just for a few seconds, and we can observe how is our breathing condition. Of course, we try to start the breathing in the abdomen and then go to the chest. Then for the exhalation, we start to exhale, preferably from the chest down to the abdomen. I will explain just a little later the condition or the main three conditions of breathing. So we sit here, we just observe what is happening with the flow of our breathing, keeping the mind in that center, hands on the knees. And through this exercise, we discover perhaps that sometimes we feel a little uncomfortable. Sometimes we feel a little bit of pain or discomfort. Then we can slightly move the the body on the chair. Move slightly the body so the condition becomes more comfortable. And keep the mind on the breathing, observing. Sometimes also closing the eyes really helps to focus better on the movement of the breathing. So now we can open our eyes, and we're just present with this movement, with this condition. And we're going to do just a very simple exercise to make us discover how easy it can be to connect with our condition, with our body, with our breathing, and also in turns, which can also help to connect with the condition of our mind or thoughts. So, few exercises, very short. We can now bring our arms in the front and we inhale. Open your arms, open your chest, and exhale, bring your hands down. Deep exhale. Now inhale. Again, open your arms, open the side, your back is straight. Bring your hands together and exhale deep, lower your arms in front of your body. Go down as far as you can with the exhalation. Inhale. Open. Exhale, hands on the knees. Deep exhale. Remember, exhalation is important. Again, inhale, open, brings your hand together, exhale deep. And here, in the end of the exhale, stay without breathing. Just a second. Inhale. Deep inhale from the abdomen to the chest, exhale. And we do one more time. Faster breathing in and exhale. Deep. Through the nose preferably. Inhale and exhale. And now we're going to bring the knees together, feet on the ground, and we're going to put both elbows up above the knees, and the head is this way supported in our hands. Just adjust the position of the elbows to make sure that your neck is comfortable. And observe now how it is in the breathing from your navel to the chest. And then when exhalation takes place, it's important to relax the shoulders. So exhaling, relaxing the shoulders and going down. Observing what's happening here with the inhalation as well, in the expansion of the breathing. Inhaling. Keep your knees together. And deep exhale from the chest, removing the tension in the shoulders. Exhale deep. In and out. And now for two breaths, we inhale deeper, inhaling with a bigger volume of air. And now exhaling with a deeper volume as well. One more time, in expanding the side muscles and the back to the shoulders, and let go the shoulders. Exhale deep. Just remain a few seconds observing what's happening. Now, without moving your elbow or your hands, you just open the knees a little wider. Keeping the position like this, head supported in the hands. And now we discover that the breathing patterns change slightly. We inhale from the navel to the chest. And here we can get much more in tune with the diaphragmatic breathing. Exhale deep. So now the abdomen is more free. Inhale. Feel the expansion of the side to the chest. And now we exhale. Now 2 times we breathe deep. Inhale deep. And exhale, letting go the shoulders. Deep exhale to the into the abdomen. One more time. Inhale. Deep with bigger volume over here. And exhale deep. Relaxing in that condition, keeping the mind in the center with the movement of breathing and observing. So now what we do, we keep the knees in the same position and the elbow in the same position. We just cross our arms in front of us. And now we go a little deeper with the body, bending forward a little further, but keeping the body relaxed. And breathe in, discovering now that the thoracic cage is opening more. Now we pay attention to the breathing in the chest. We feel comfortable in the position, otherwise we just slightly adapt the position with the knees and the head slightly going down. We keep observing the movement of the breath. Now we take a deeper breath, like larger volume of air. Inhale and exhale deeply. Again, one more time. In and deep exhalation. And we remain in that condition, observing what is. We come up slowly, gently, bring the knees together, not close, but naturally sitting. And just observe the breathing. Hands on the knees, shoulders open. So now, I can't ask questions to everybody, but I am sure that for some of us at least, we can feel a certain difference from the moment we started breathing before and right now after relaxing into the breathing and paying attention to what is happening. Of course, this way we can also develop the awareness of our own condition. But with the presence or the attention to the fact that we need to breathe and so on, can really help developing a deeper sense of relaxation, of balance, and also developing so much benefit about deeper breathing. For example, I tell you a little story that happens recently to me. You probably all remember the story of the Bataclan in Paris. And so it happened that I was in Paris at that time. And it also happened that someone that I met later was there at the moment of the bombing in the Bataclan. And it happens that the parents of this young man was a friend of mine. And at one point, this young person was looking for a lot of help because had developed something really quite usual after such a trauma, which we call post-traumatic stress disorder. And yes, he was seeing psychologists, psychotherapists, and that was all very good. But then he came to see me in Paris. And I thought I was not going to work with him at the mind level, or I was not going to ask him what happened, or how he feels, or all these kind of questions we could ask to someone in this situation. And so I took him to the yoga room where I was teaching that weekend, and we did an hour work just on breathing and movement. And he couldn't hardly walk because he had been shot in the leg, so he had a knee replacement. So we started working together, and after some maybe half hour, all his dimension, all his energy was starting to, the energy, that's important, no? Energy started to come up, he started to revive. Colors started to come up to his cheek. And he wasn't worried anymore about what was happening in his mind. And I wasn't worried about that either. The main point was that he could see that he could use the tool that he had, which was breathing, to help him sometime when it was important to him to overcome this kind of stress. And that was a fantastic example for me because the function of breathing, for example, particularly the diaphragmatic breathing, which is this enormous muscle we have in the center of our body, which often we leave aside and we don't think about this because we just continue our life without necessarily thinking that breathing is so important. So the benefit of having a good function of the diaphragm helps multiple, like for example blood circulation. We can lower, scientifically proven that blood pressure can be lowered through good diaphragmatic breathing. It can improve the muscle stability for the spine, for example. Also expand our energy, expand our condition, our deeper relaxation. It can also help to perhaps when we go through certain injuries whatsoever, we can improve the healing of any injuries through deep diaphragmatic breathing. So this is just an example. I cannot really speak too much about this today because we have a workshop tomorrow. And I can explain and show, and we can work together for 2 hours. I think 2 hours, or today? Today? Tomorrow, good, tomorrow. So
tomorrow late afternoon.
Oh, that's great, great. So maybe we can work together and see what we can do in order to increase our capacity, which in turn will allow to bring us to a certain level of presence and also awareness, the knowledge of knowing how to breathe and why we breathe and what the conditions of better, deeper, harmonious, fluid breathing brings to us in our lives. And I was very fortunate to be able to learn for years and years the art of Yantra Yoga, ancient Tibetan yoga of breathing. Because through that, with my teacher, Fabio Enrico, by the way, which I want really to mention here, through our work and the knowledge of breathing that Fabio brought in the world, we were very fortunate to develop these techniques which can be applied by everybody, no matter what age, what condition, what size, whatever. Everybody can benefit from these techniques. And they are simple, and I will be so happy to present this to you tomorrow. Thank you.